Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. So today we are going to again be talking about dolls that I don't plan on purchasing. If you haven't seen any of these videos of mine in the past, it's just a little thing I do where I talk about dolls that have either come out recently or are about to come out that I don't plan on buying, whether it's because I hate it or just because the doll is cool but not for me. I just still like to give my opinions on them. So this is that video. This is the part 2 to the 2022 year of releases. I felt like it had been a while since I did my last video, and there's not tons and tons and tons of dolls that I want to talk about, but there's enough to where I thought I should go ahead and do the part 2, so that's what we're doing today. Just like, as always, this is just my personal opinion, and most of the time the dolls that I don't plan on buying, it's just because it's not for me, not because it's a terrible doll. So don't take any offense. If you guys love the dolls that I'm talking about here, that's awesome. I won't be buying it, so that's like one more for you to purchase, you know? So yeah, it's just a personal thought thing. It's not any attack against you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. The first brand that I want to talk about today is Barbie. Now, I don't talk about Barbie a ton on this channel, and that's just because I liked her a lot as a child, but as an adult collector, there's other doll lines that I gravitate more towards. But I have done some reviews on the Barbie Extra series, so I figured I should maybe talk about this. I don't know if it's the Barbie Extra Deluxe or like what it exactly is called. I'll put it on the screen here somewhere. I just don't know the exact title of it. But it's another one that doesn't come with just like the one set of clothing that she's wearing. She's got like a bunch of mix and matchable pieces to her. And I just think the pieces range from terrible to mediocre. I don't know. I said this before when I was talking about the first Barbie Extra that they had done like this, because this is the second one, where it just feels weird that Barbie Extra seemed like it was going to be something that was kind of designed more with collectors in mind, with a little bit more detail to the fashions and more articulation. And this is very much a play line thing. And it feels even more weird when we talk about this next little set of dolls, which is the Barbie Extra Fancy. I want to bring these in because these are actually amazing. I think that all three of these dolls look stunning and beautiful, and I don't know if I'm going to end up getting any just because I always have a doll budget. Like, I can only buy so many dolls, but these are really, really, really good, which makes it even more bizarre that they're both technically some form of Barbie Extra. I just feel like the Barbie Extra lineup doesn't make any sense, and some of them are awesome and some of them are truly terrible. So I don't know. Whatever the like deluxe or whatever that edition is, will not be purchasing her. As for the Barbie Fancy, like I said, I don't know, but it really is just purely a budget constraint at that point. If I had unlimited dollars to throw at dolls, I would be buying all three of these. I think they're gorgeous. That's like the highlight of this video, is talking about these, because I just think they look so good, but I don't know if they're good enough to like come out on top of other dolls that I'm planning to purchase in the near future. So I don't know, we'll have to see about that. The next brand I was going to talk about is Mermaids. You guys might have seen a few weeks ago I did a review on Harmonique and didn't go well. That was genuinely awful. Before I reviewed that doll, I was planning on purchasing Aura, the kind of like collector's edition, and now I'm not, because she's even more expensive than a normal Mermaids, but she doesn't have any like clothing that's not molded on. It's very bizarre how they decided to do this. I do think she's a very, very pretty design. Something about the molded on top actually gives me a little bit of like nostalgia feeling for mermaid dolls that I had when I was a kid. So like, I wanted her until I saw the quality that I got with Harmonique, but I still wanted to talk about her, obviously, because I'm not going to buy her, but also because I think it's so bizarre that they're releasing her as a collector's edition, but also with like the hair glitter gimmick. That's very much like a playline doll type thing. And it's just weird to me to release a playline gimmick as a collector's doll. I don't know, the whole marketing thing just completely doesn't make sense. So I did want to touch on that for a second, but yeah, Harmonique scared me off of Mermaid's purchases for now. I won't be getting her. Next up, I want to go ahead and talk about LOL. They're releasing a few dolls that I want to put in this video, and then the first two are from the like LOL OMG sports line, and those are Kicks and Skate Boss. I do think out of all of the sports that exist that they could pull from, figure skating is one that I thought I was going to be really into, but I don't know. She's not a bad doll, Skate Boss, but I just don't feel super in love with her. And then as for Kicks, I love her color scheme. I love her hair. I love the like transparent coat that she has on over her outfit, but she is a soccer themed doll. I don't have anything against soccer personally. I'm just not really a sports person. So I feel like it would be weird to spend my money on either of these when I'm not really into the sport, if that makes sense. I don't think they're terrible dolls, but I want to like them and I don't. I think that's the problem. I actually don't have stock photos as of time of filming for these next two, but I wanted to go ahead and include them anyway, just because I was already talking about the two LOL OMG sports dolls, so I was like, we might as well tack these on too. So we have started to see photos leaking for LOL Prince B. He's okay. I always want to like male dolls. If you saw my video on Ash from Shadow High, I talked about that. Like, I always want to like them, and I just don't. Again, I don't think he's a terrible design. I'm not saying this doll is super, super ugly. I actually think that he's pretty good, but I don't know. There's just something about him that I don't feel drawn to. I've never felt drawn to any of the LOL OMG boys. Maybe someday in the future I'll finally have one that clicks, much like I didn't like the first two Rainbow High male dolls, but I liked Ash. Like, maybe someday I'll get there, but I don't think that he is going to be the one for me. And then the last LOL OMG doll to talk about is Sketches, which is really disappointing to me. When I started to see pictures of just like her head on Instagram floating around, I was very excited. I love all the colors. I love her makeup. Her hair looked awesome. It seemed like this was going to be a doll that was right up my alley. Even the artwork on the box, I was like, we're looking good. But then I saw the actual doll and I just don't like the dress at all, to the point where it does genuinely ruin the rest of the doll for me. I don't understand why she's got the weird stitching like all the way down. I thought it was going to be more just a solid dress. I don't know. I've talked about this with a few people on Instagram, and it does just seem like a weird decision, and I really don't like it. Like I said, to the point where I won't buy this doll. Probably, I can always change mine, but I probably won't buy this doll because of that, which is very disappointing because I think the base doll is super pretty, but not the clothing that she comes with, so not for me. Next up on my little chopping block here is Shadow High / Rainbow High. I'm kind of grouping them together because obviously same universe. From Shadow High, you've already seen the reviews of the dolls that I plan on buying. The only one that I'm still kind of undecided on is Luna. I might buy her just to have. I won't do a review on her because like 1,000 other people already have. It's a little bit late. Like, I'm a little late to the party for that. But yeah, she's the only one that I could see myself buying just to have in my collection. I am not a huge fan of Natasha. I don't mind the base doll, but very similar to Sketches, that feather dress, I just cannot get behind. Even her second outfit, I don't like it enough to justify purchasing the doll for the price that she's at just to like the base doll. It's the same problem I have with a lot of the Pacific Coast Rainbow High dolls, where it's like, the doll's pretty, but the clothing is not what I want. And I can't spend upwards of $25, $25, $30 for just a doll, you know, like just a base naked doll. That's all that I would want, so I can't justify purchasing that. Same thing goes for Chanel from Shadow High. I know a lot of you are probably going to be very upset to hear that. I feel like she is like, overall, at least from what I've seen, the like fan favorite of Shadow High, and I don't know why. I just can't get behind it. I feel like everyone loves Chanel, and like, I get it. She, again, has a very pretty base doll. I just don't think that I like her fashions. I don't know. I wish I could just like everyone's favorite dolls. I feel like this happens to me all the time, where in a doll line, I don't like the favorite, and I don't know why I'm always like that. It's very frustrating, but Chanel, not for me. And then lastly, Nicole, definitely not. I'm sorry. But again, she's kind of like sportier. I just really don't like the fashions. Her hair is phenomenal. I will say that. Her hair is stunning, but I just don't like her clothes. That's like the overall too long didn't watch of the Shadow High section, is that I like the base dolls, but I don't like the clothing on Natasha, Nicole, and Chanel, so won't be buying those. And then for Rainbow High proper, we have been getting looks at Series 4, and most of them range from I have to have this, like Delilah, oh my god, I have to have her, to me being kind of unsure and like I'm gonna have to see it on the shelf before I can make a decision. But the one that I know for sure that I don't want is Mila. I think that's how you say it. Mila Barrymore, or maybe it's Mila. I don't know. I'm gonna say Mila. I just don't like it. I thought I was going to like her, but something just feels really, really off. I don't know. Like, her hairstyle is amazing. I know a lot of people are saying that she gives them Olivia Rodrigo vibes, which like is fine. I don't know. Something about the fashion just almost feels ill-fitting to me. Like, it feels like it doesn't quite sit right on the doll. That could just be a me problem, but yeah, I definitely cannot be purchasing her. She's not for me. All the other ones, like I said, I'm kind of either undecided on or I'm definitely gonna get. So series 4 looks for the most part amazing, but Mila really just was not the star of the show for me with that one. And then lastly, to round up the video, just because like, gotta leave the most controversial one for last, I do want to talk about the Monster High Haunt Couture dolls. I thought on several occasions about making a video about these like just by themselves, because this was like a whole weird situation when it went down. I want to say up front super clearly, I do not begrudge anybody who got these dolls for free, any doll influencers or doll YouTubers or TikTokers or whatever who got these dolls for free. I understand that that's a normal thing. Like, makeup is the first thing that comes to my mind. Makeup influencers get tons and tons and tons of free product in PR to promote. Like, that's just how this online world that we live in works. So I'm not in any way jealous of or mad at or like upset at the people who got these dolls for free, okay? I want to make that super clear, because I know that that was a big thing that people were being accused of when these dolls first came out. I did definitely take issue with how some people handled it, and how some people who received them seemed to be really ungrateful. I'm not mad at people who got them, but I do think that if you're in a position where you're getting free product, like, you have to keep in mind that that's awesome. Like, I don't know, that just seems like something that like you should be grateful for, and I definitely feel like some people didn't come across that way. Aside from the drama though, with like influencers, I do want to talk about the Haunt Couture dolls and like the release itself, aside from the influencer world. I do think it was really weird for Monster High to literally only give you 24 hours notice for each doll. Like, $80 is a lot for a lot of people. And that's in the United States, let alone international collectors. So like, that already seemed very just like odd to me. Obviously they knew that these dolls were going to come out. Dolls take a long time to produce and like prepare and everything. And so I feel like they could have given us more notice and they just chose not to. I also do take issue with the price point, and it's not because it's expensive, okay? I know that everything is expensive. In my area, gas just went up to over $4 a gallon again, and I'm not happy about it. I know in other areas it's even more expensive. Food is more expensive. Like, everything price-wise is going up. I get it, okay? I understand. However, I do think the price point of the Haunt Couture dolls was unbelievable. I think it was ridiculous. I don't know if it's in frame, but up here I have the old collector's Draculaura, where she was like extra tall. She's got embroidery all over her skirt. She's got glass inset eyes. She's got the eyelashes. She has a very, very fancy, cool box. She's got an umbrella that pops up. Like, she has so much stuff, and I'm bringing her up because that's like the other collector's edition I can kind of compare Haunt Couture dolls to, because I don't have any of the Skelectors. And that doll originally was $60. Again, I know that was a long time ago, so inflation, I get it. But when you look at the quality, to me, it just seems a little ridiculous. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, because again, I don't have the Haunt Couture dolls. That's obviously the title of this video, is dolls that I don't want or didn't buy. I didn't buy any of them because I couldn't afford to buy any of them for what they were. It just seems like they're mostly a regular Monster High doll, slightly upgraded, but then you're being charged $80 for them. And if I'm being 100% honest, it really felt like Mattel knew that the Monster High fans would buy these dolls at no matter what price point. It felt to me like they knew that there was a big enough fandom still existing for Monster High, and who was still very excited for Monster High to be coming back, that they could charge whatever price they wanted, and someone in the fandom would be able to buy it. It felt exploitative. That's the only thing I could say. It just felt like they didn't have to be this expensive. I don't think that you could... I could be wrong because I don't have them in my hands, but I don't think that the quality justifies how expensive the Haunt Couture dolls were. I think this felt like a money grab. And as like a part of the Monster High fandom, where Monster High has always been something special to a lot of us, where it really represents diversity and being yourself and not having to be afraid to be yourself and just like general acceptance, that felt really grubby and really terrible. So maybe I'm reading too much into it, but yeah, those were kind of my thoughts on the Haunt Couture situation. I do think that the dolls themselves were beautiful, but everything about the release just, A, was not physically possible for me. Like, I cannot come up with $80 in 24 hours to spend on a doll. I know other people are able to, and like, that's fantastic, but for me, like, I have rent to pay. I have groceries that I have to buy. I have gas that I have to put in my car. I have utilities. And so like, dolls are a luxury in my life, and I can't just scrounge up almost $100 at a moment's notice for dolls. So yeah. So that's it. Sorry for saving like the weird part for the end. I know I got really heavy there, and usually these are pretty light videos, but that's been weighing on me for forever since these dolls first started releasing, so I had to talk about it. Thank you for watching though. Thank you if you made it all the way through the end. I hope that you liked the video, even if it was a little tough there at the end there. I hope it was entertaining for you, or like, we can start a nice conversation about this in the comments. But yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you next week in the next one. Bye guys!